Fury vs. Wilder 3 looking to be likely set for 2021. The undisputed heavyweight showdown between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury for the summer of 2021 looks like it's going to be put on hold for now. So the question is, if Joshua versus Fury is off, who will Anthony Joshua face next? Hey, what's going on? This is Boxing's Objective Observer. Welcome back to Ringside Stories. Feel free to like and share. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell if you enjoy the content. After Anthony Joshua took care of his IBF mandatory Kubrat Pulev in December of 2020, Joshua made it clear once again what he wanted next.
Of course I want to challenge. It's not about the opponent, it's about the legacy and the belt. Whoever's got the belt, I'd love to compete with them. If that is Tyson Fury, let it be Tyson Fury.
And so Anthony Joshua put his promoter, Eddie Hearn, to work.
I have been focusing on plan A. The only fight that we had our mind on was Tyson Fury. And we hope that that fight can still take place on August 14th. The game changed last night where we have to have a plan B.
But if plan A falls through, it is actually pretty obvious, in my opinion, who plan B is. WBO mandatory challenger Alexander Usyk. The Ukrainian has been patiently waiting for close to 2 years. And it seems like the AJ and Usyk promotional outfits get along just fine.
I had a very good conversation this morning with Alex Krasuk. You know, he's a partner of ours. We've worked very well on Alexander Usyk. And I just sort of said to him, I was just very honest. You know, I said, look, Team Fury are trying to resolve the issue. If they don't, there's a very good chance we could be fighting you. So if the right deal could be done to maintain those belts and to keep the Fury fight alive for probably December, but for the undisputed as well. So,
which Usyk promoter Alex Krasuk confirmed.
I've been in touch with Eddie Hearn within the last 7 days, almost every day. So Eddie said that he's giving the opportunity for Fury people to manage this stuff with Wilder until the end of the week, and if they doesn't manage to manage it, then AJ would probably have to go with the mandatory.
You know, we continue those talks with Alex Krasuk this week, and like I said, plan B and plan C still now comes into effect, but we hope plan A is, you know, evolves and can come into fruition. You know, we can't wait around. We have a deal in place with Tyson Fury. We provided an unbelievable opportunity to him. You know, we were told by his team, Bob Arum, that, you know, the arbitration wouldn't be an issue. We could move forward with this fight. They were wrong, and that's on them. That's their responsibility. That's now their problem. We hope they can solve that problem. But we have to look after ourselves. We have to look after Anthony Joshua. We have to maintain the position of unified world champion, and those talks will continue, and we want to be in a position by the end of this week to know, are we fighting Tyson Fury or are we moving forward with another option?
Krasuk already had a hunch the Fury versus AJ fight wasn't happening before Joshua fought his man, Alexander Usyk.
It was just a hunch, a feeling that this fight was not likely to happen before Usyk faces AJ. And it's quite a lot. Time has passed since January when we first heard about the interim. Now it's already middle of May. The possible fight between AJ and Usyk might take place at the end of summer, and probably in July Fury would have to face Wilder. And the feeling was like that, and it remains the same.
By November of 2018, Alexander Usyk successfully defended his cruiserweight crown against former WBC champion Tony Bellew, after collecting all of the marbles, effectively cleaning out the cruiserweight division. An ambition Oleg likes to replicate at heavyweight, making his intentions clear to one Anthony Joshua.
Who would you rather face? Which fighter?
Которого ты бы лучше? Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua.
You'd rather, and why would that be?
And Wembley. Мне кажется, мне с ним бы сложнее было. I think it would be much harder for me to fight Joshua than Ruiz.
Harder?
Harder.
No one ever seen Usyk in heavyweights. Just one fight with Chisora. And when he decided to move up in the division for heavyweights, we claimed that he has to become the world champion. He has to become the world champion in heavyweights. The undisputed world champion. Of course, it's a huge step towards the objective. Usyk has already made the history, and he's still on the way to make a part of it.
So far, Usyk has 2 fights at heavyweight, most recently and notably, as Alex Krashum stated, against tough veteran Derek Chisora, over whom Usyk scored a 12-round points decision in the SSE Arena, London, in October of 2020. And who showed up to see that fight? Anthony Joshua, claiming that he wanted to see his possible future opponent in the flesh, even though AJ was in camp for the Kubrat Pulev fight later that year.
You know, I'm in my own training camp, but it's a good time for me to learn about what else is out there. It's a business opportunity this. I want to come down and see what my competition are doing as well. So as much as it is to support Derek, it's as much to see how good my potential mandatory challenger will be.
I'm pretty sure AJ would like to face Usyk if the AJ versus Fury fight does indeed fall through, especially since Usyk has been waiting since 2019 when he moved up to heavyweight and was automatically elevated by the WBO as the next mandatory challenger. And I'm sure Usyk wants to fight Joshua too, knowing that the vast majority of people will favor the current unified WBA, WBO, and IBF world champion heavily.
I think Usyk is very, very much underestimated by most of the heavyweights, claiming that his anthropometry, the size of his body is not enough for heavyweights, but his weight is already over 100, which brings him to same conditions like Vander Holyfield, David Haye. So it's very close, and I think he has every and each chance to win the possible fight with Anthony Joshua. Yes, I spoke to him this morning saying like, Alex, are you ready to face AJ? So he called me back in half an hour saying that he was driving La Manche already on his way to London, and which turn he has to make, left or right. So he's ready. Yeah, he's ready.
It's good to see Usyk's team believe in him, and as long as Usyk believes in his abilities, the fight between him and AJ is a fight I personally would like to see. Just take a look at the current heavyweight rankings. Right now, the Fury versus Wilder 3 fight is likely to happen. Then you have Dillian Whyte, which doesn't make any sense for Dillian Whyte since he is the WBC interim world title holder. A rematch with Joseph Parker? Not really, because the New Zealander just got off a fight where he won a split decision against Derek Chisora, and in my opinion, Derek Chisora did enough to win that fight. Then you have Andy Ruiz, who had a comeback fight against Chris Arreola, and he looked vulnerable. And I think that immediate rematch against Chris Arreola would be more of a logical next step. Or a fight against Luis Ortiz would actually be enticing, the fight between Andy Ruiz and Luis Ortiz. A fight with Luis Ortiz and Anthony Joshua, not too much clout for that, and I don't really fancy that fight at this point in time. Michael Hunter already has a fight penciled in. Alexander Povetkin just came off a devastating knockout loss, might actually be hanging it up, and I don't want to see a second AJ Povetkin fight anyway. Oscar Rivas, maybe. That's a C option in my opinion, at best C option. No disrespect to Rivas, who is an interesting fighter at heavyweight. So just looking at the current heavyweight rankings, aside from the Tyson Fury fight, which most likely will not proceed for August the 14th, the Alexander Usyk fight makes the most sense for Anthony Joshua right now. He's an undefeated, former undisputed cruiserweight world champion, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world, as a heavyweight posing different challenges, and is the current WBO mandatory challenger who believes he can beat Anthony Joshua.
Do you have a message to the camera for Anthony Joshua to let him know you are here and you are waiting?
Anthony, have a good day.
What are your thoughts on Alexander Usyk? Would you like to see him against AJ next should the Fury fight indeed fall through for the summer of 2021? If not, Who would you like to see Anthony Joshua fight next? Leave a comment below and let's have a conversation. Feel free to like and share. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell if you enjoy the content. This is Boxing's Objective Observer with Ringside Stories. Thanks for watching and have a legendary day.